All right, hello, welcome to the Health Information Management Phase 2 Pre-Professional Practice Experience Orientation. This is the virtual orientation that I, Karen Hill, am creating for students who were unable to attend the August 23rd orientation in person. And just a little FYI, we are looking at, for future practicum orientations, to go ahead and do those as a webinar, a live webinar. And so that way, for those that are at a remote, in a different state or far down the coast in South Carolina, won't have to worry about having to drive up that particular day for just a few hours. So, but like I said, I'm Karen Hill, and I want to talk to you about the agenda for the PPE pre-PPE orientation. So, congratulations on working so hard to get yourself to this point in the program. We know that's not a small feat. You've done a great job, and we're so happy to be able to share with you the practicum sites. Some of them, this particular course, HIM 163, and then in 164 you will actually be doing your 40 hours at a site, and that will be another orientation that I will do. I am the practicum coordinator, and so if you have any questions about that, you will need to direct those to me, Karen Hill. So welcome. Want to start out with talking about the 5 tours that are going to be made available to you. And that's, of course, in this area of Greenville County. We have a virtual tour that was a recorded session that Eston Rogers, who is the HIM leader at Bon Secours, downtown Greenville, he actually came to our site, came to our lab, and presented to our students. We invited the online students as well, of course, as the traditional students, to come in for the remote or virtual tour. And so he went through the different topics, talking about workflows and change and all kinds of good things that really helped the students, because they had that leader that was somebody besides myself and Miss Seibert to talk to about HIM. So that is actually one of your options. So everyone that needs a third tour can utilize that. There are questions after every tour that you will need to turn in, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. So you're required to attend 3 of the 5. And if you're a distance ed student that you're way far away, like well beyond Spartanburg and Anderson and so forth, if you're near Midlands or so on, we expect that you will have you will send me some options that you have discovered as far as a tour. And one of those can be a region meeting. If you're in another state or you're in a different area of South Carolina, you have a component state association, like we have SCHEMA in South Carolina. North Carolina has NCHEMA. Georgia has GHEMA. So every state has a component state association, and depending on where you live in that state, you have a region that you can attend meetings as a student. And so make sure that you are looking up those particular component state associations to see if they've got a meeting near you in their region. That can count as a tour. It has to be done between now, of course, and December 1st. Of 2019. So make sure you keep that in mind. So one of the region meetings that I have as an option that you will see, I'll go ahead and pull it over here. I have the SCHEMA Upstate Region meeting Friday 9/20. If you can make that. If you cannot, there should be a component state association region meeting near you where you live that you can actually utilize between now and December 1st. And that would be perfectly fine. You are responsible for any fees that they have. Normally it's about $10 to $15 for students. So keep that in mind. They do feed you lunch. You do not get credit for the CEUs, but there is a alternative tour form that you will complete for proof and also completion of this assignment. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. I have yet to leave this open for our other students because I'm awaiting a definitive yes on a date and time with Shriners Hospital. So this will soon be open under course content in Blackboard and HIM 163. You see it says tour assignments. These are critical assignments. You must attend 3 tours this semester. You have 5 options for you. Of course, if you're local, these are great. If you're not local, only one really fits the bill. So locally, we've got the Skahema Upstate meeting on 9/20. We've got the Spartanburg Regional Healthcare System tour on Monday, 10/14 at 2 p.m. We've got the St. Francis Cancer Center Monday, 11/11 at 2 p.m. And I'm still awaiting confirmation for the Shriners Hospital for Children on Monday, 12/2 at 2 p.m. The virtual tour is the one that I will make sure the recording is available to all the students in HIM 163 to be able to review and complete the assignment. So I want to also mention these are critical assignments and you only have to attend 3. You must submit the answers to the questions located in the assignment links to get credit. The assignments are due the Sunday after the specific tour. The only exception is, like the Skahema meeting, that assignment is due by 9/29, and that's for, of course, the more local students. So let's click into tour assignments, and you will see alternate tour option, Skahema meeting. If you are out of state or out of the region, this form would be the same type of form that you actually can use for like an NCHEMA Triangle Region meeting or a Midlands Region meeting for Skahema. And the questions, as soon as this form opens, I'll show you. You'll see what they consist of as soon as it opens. There we go. All right, obviously, student name, conference or meeting, and date attended. What meeting did you attend and where? What date? Who sponsored the meeting? There's always a sponsor. It might be Lexicode. It might be Iron Mountain. Somebody typically sponsors the meeting. So make sure you note that. What was the agenda? So you will get an agenda when you go to the meeting. Make sure you put in, you don't have to go through a big detail. Just highlight a brief summary of each speaker's topic. Who attended this meeting? Who did you meet? Make sure you introduce yourself at the meeting you attend. That's a great networking opportunity for you. Were you able to network with other HIM professionals? Obviously, I hope you will. And who did you meet? Were you able to volunteer at this meeting? You don't have to necessarily volunteer. I do give extra credit if you do. So please note that. Were you able to participate in any group activities at this meeting? Sometimes they'll break off into different groups and have discussions on different topics. How did attendance at this meeting further your HIM career? That's more of an opinion of how you feel that it will further your career. But those are the questions you must answer when you attend one of the other region meetings, not in the upstate of South Carolina. You'll need to take and fill this form out. All right. And you would submit that to this link. So you could submit it to this link. And here's another one. If you and actually, I would accept you submitting it even if you didn't go to the Skahema meeting. I would accept you submitting another region meeting to this particular link. This one is if you attend a tour at a different healthcare site. Let's say you live near Wake Medical Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. Well, there are ways to, meet up with the HIM director and talk to them about these different types of questions. And so that's what we would typically do if we were on a tour around the Greenville County area. So just letting you know that these questions, and they may not apply to every facility that you might attend. And so just keep in mind that this is an expectation that you turn this in, but you need to let me approve your alternate healthcare site. You're responsible when it's out of the area for finding that. I do have contacts in a couple of different states at different facilities. I might be able to set something up, but I'm really putting it in your hands because I am not as comfortable with knowing where you are, where would you like to go. Maybe you've had a bad experience at a local healthcare site and you don't want to go there. Or your family members had a bad experience. So knowing that there's just everybody has a variety of feelings about different businesses and such, you are responsible for setting up something outside of the Greenville, Spartanburg, Anderson area. So, all right, but you would take and fill out these questions, and like I said, not all of these will apply to your particular site. And then you would take and turn them in to this link. So, region meeting somewhere near you, because every state has a component state association of a HEMA. You've got the alternate tour option that you can take and come up with and send to me for my approval. And that'll be your number 2. And then your third one can be, it doesn't have to be, you can always do a second, you can do 2 region meetings wherever you are, and 1 healthcare site tour, and that would count for the 3. Or if you're kind of stuck, you have until 12/1 to complete the virtual tour, and I will have a link to the recording inside the actual assignment. So that way, if you would like that as your third option for the critical assignment, you've got it. All right, so that's that. We have an early testing application we would like you to fill out. I will take and put it out there as an assignment to have you complete that. We have a revised contact information sheet just in case your information has changed. If you've moved, even if it's local, we still need to know that information. The physical forms. The physical is probably a light purple colored document that you received. One side has the information like your name, or maybe it's a peach colored form. Either way, it's got the Greenville Technical College Health and Wellness logo at the upper left. Upper right, it says Student Health Form. The top part shows health program, name, address, phone, work, and home, date of birth, your Greenville Tech ID, city, state, zip, cell phone number. And then underneath that, it's got mandatory immunizations for faculty students participating in clinical experience. You must attach legible copy of official immunization records and or lab reports. It can be a copy, but it has to be the official. What do we mean by official? It has to have the arm it was given in, or it has to have and it has to have the signature of a medical professional. It can be printed out of your personal health record if you have one like my chart, but it has to have the dates when it was administered. It has to be on an official looking document. And so we still want you to fill out the front, like the measles, mumps, rubella. You have to put in dose 1 date, dose 2 date, or if you've got the titers because you couldn't find your documentation for the MMR shots, you have to have the titer date for rubiola, mumps, rubella, and circling whether positive, negative, or equivalent. But you still must attach the official document that shows that you had the titers done or you had the 2 doses done. The tuberculosis screening, skin test or blood test, you have to have a 2-step. So they're usually done a week apart. Step 1, date placed, and then date read. and results. Step 2, date placed and date read and results. Or the quantiferon gold or T-spot test. So that is the other option you're allowed to have. If you have to have a chest x-ray, if your TB test is positive, please give me a call. My number is 864-250-3026. The varicella is the next vaccine. You've got 2 doses, date 1 when it was given and date 2, or the positive proof of immunity by titer. So in that date of that titer. The hepatitis B is optional. You don't have to have it. If you want to put it down, that's fine. You don't have to. Tetanus, the Tdap, tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis, has to be have been done within the last 10 years. Put the date on there. And then a recent flu vaccine is the next one. And so we say recent, we're talking like what's out there right now. Right now it's the current flu season shots that are available. And you get them done just about anywhere. CVS, your doctor's office, and so forth. On the back side, it has to be completed by a healthcare provider. Of course, you can always put your name and date of birth at the top, but the rest of it has to be done by a healthcare provider, the physical exam record. And this is a non-invasive physical. It's kind of like a sports physical. And everything from physical examination record to limitations, special accommodations, to medications, certification of health status. And your name would be at the blank. I hereby certify that I've examined, Jane Doe, and that she is physically and emotionally able to be enrolled, blah, blah, blah. And then the practitioner would sign, date, print their name and title, put their license number in there, and the city, state, and zip of where they practice. So that's required. It has to be filled out. The student health form has to be filled out, and we need the proof that the vaccines and immunizations were given. Please let me know if you have any questions about that. All right. Badge forms and badges. I'm not really as concerned about that right now. There is a way to get a student ID from our college from a distance, and I'll talk more about that at another time and date. When you do the tours, you're going to be with me. If you're doing a tour somewhere else and you need an ID, that may be a problem to get to you quickly. I don't know the kind of backlog they have down here at the college. I can vouch for you if I know where you're going, because I would like some communication with that site leader. So just keep that in mind. If you give me a name, when you tell me where you want to go for the tour that you're going to do out of the area, and you need to give me your the person's name whom you're going to meet with and their contact information. Passport access. You should have been given the passport access by now. That is a healthcare module like privacy and security, how to use a fire extinguisher, those kind of things. So that you need to go ahead and have access, get completed as soon as possible, and let me know. I want a transcript or some proof that you've finished that. There's actually an assignment for you out there for that. Let's see, UDS and bookstore runs. Okay, I won't even worry about that. EHR Go, you've already been in the system now, and I'm sure you purchased the 16-week access versus 12-week, because 16 weeks is what you need for this semester, this fall of 2019 semester. The program key, as you can see here for EHR Go, is always this, just a little FYI. Using Internet Explorer makes things a lot easier for a lot of the programs that we use, a lot of the applications that we use. We don't know why that's the case, but I personally have come up against not being able to open something or review something because I'm in a different browser other than Internet Explorer. So keep that in mind. If one browser won't work, go to Internet Explorer. And if you don't have Internet Explorer on your computer, because a lot of times now they're loading Edge. Edge is not what you want. Edge is like solid blue. You want the Internet Explorer light blue with the golden halo, that icon. And you would just simply take and go to your Start menu on your computer, and let's see if I can do this. And you're wanting to, oh, there it is. I'm hoping you can see this. There's a little magnifying glass. What you would do is you would type in Internet Explorer. And see, it popped it right up because I already have it on my desktop. But if I didn't, it would still pop it up. And so that way you would actually be able to click on it, open it up, and then use it for your application that you are having trouble with using a different browser. All right. If you need to fax me any documentation, our fax number is 864-848-2038. And I am excited for you for this semester, being able to get out there and enjoy the tours, whether it's one you do with us or one you have to do on your own. Being able to network at a region meeting near you if you're out of the area. It's a really exciting time. So please let me know if you have any questions, and thanks so much.